Welcome to the December Garrison Community Update. As always, packed agenda. We'd like to thank the Red Cross for providing coffee, very much appreciated. Also, you have a lot of handouts on your tables, so please make sure you look at those, take them. If you need extras, the folks over here at the tables have extras as they supply those. And also, you'll see a little white card feedback form. If you have any comments, suggestions, recommendations, please address it on here. Leave it on the table. We collect them at the end. And then we will give you some updates on feedback that we received from the last update. And with that, I will turn it over to Colonel Duncan.
As Alicia mentioned, always a ton of information to get out to these. Thank you. I'm actually surprised how many folks are here. This is great. I figured, everybody gets busy in the run-up to Christmas and in the run-up to the holidays. But so thank you for showing up. As you know, this is a great place to receive a ton of information, and we have more to give out to you today. I'm gonna talk for a couple seconds, but first I love the fact that we can recognize people at this. So Madigan, if you want to come up and bring up we have 3 people we want to recognize this morning. One from Madigan and a couple from our the resource management section. So Madigan, if you want to come up, Tom, if you want to come up first. With Mr. Geyser. There you go. You got it. If you want to read you got there? Yeah. All right. Thanks. There you go. There's your mic.
All right. Thanks, everybody. So, Dr. Wilson from the Internal Medicine Clinic. We have Mr. Berain Geisler here, who came to us as an MSA in the Internal Medicine Clinic, and with boots on the ground, immediately started getting himself into any other responsibility that he could lay his hands on. So he's become our ATAP/civilian personnel person. He is our safety champion, rewrote our clinic safety SOPs, become informatics steering committee lead, MHS Genesis peer expert, and now our Joint Commission Working Group leading to a successful visit to the Internal Medicine Clinic a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately, we're losing Brant to another department, and ultimately just were unable to really keep up with him. He's an outstanding employee and really deserves some recognition. So, thank you.
Thanks. After all these great things, they're going to lose you to a different department. Are you staying on JBLM though?
Staying in Madigan.
You're staying in Matt.
He should.
There you go. Because you got the boss man here going, oh, no, that ain't going. All right, thanks. Hey, when I was reading through that list of accomplishments, that's massive. So thank you very much. Yeah. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. And Michelle? There she is.
I'm actually going to give it to our supervisor, Ms. Mr. Guylett.
All right, good morning. I'm here to provide recognition for Andrea Wiggins. Andrea has gone well above and beyond all responsibilities. She's performed 2 FTEs worth of work for about 4 months due to the critical staffing levels of RMO. During the period of 20 August to 8 November 2019, Ms. Andrea Wiggins went above and beyond her assigned duties to ensure the DA civilians assigned to MCOM JBLM were properly supported despite the critical shortage of personnel assigned to RMO. During this period, Andrea not only supported the command group and closed the fiscal year by serving as resource management POC for all permanent change of station orders, served as the MCOM JBLM lead defense travel systems and government travel card administrator. Sorry, I didn't bring my readers here. And processed 289 uniform payments. These functions normally be performed by 2 GS9 budget analysts. However, Andrea prioritized requirements, utilized all available resources, and performed her jobs amazingly. You have epitomized the be no do of the Army, and it's much appreciated.
Thank you.
Outstanding.
My voice is really loud. So I want to recognize Ms. Chris Orpich since May of this year. And in that short period of time, she actually completed over 59 annual reviews, 20 biennial reviews, and 92 triennial reviews of agreements. So that short of period of time, she has excelled, and she is like one of the best I've seen.
Outstanding. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks. The Resource Management Office has such a wide purview, and they invited me to kind of close out the year with them, at the end of the fiscal year. And I was reading through, I've told Michelle now a couple times, I was reading through their list of accomplishments of the previous year. The attention to detail that the entire RMO shop does to keep this base running is amazing. So everything that you see and touch on this base, they have an influence over. Okay, I'm going to do a couple quick comments. Before I do, though, General Graham, anything you want to say, and then Bobby, I'll hand it over to you.
Okay. First off, happy holidays to everyone. Did the NCOs win most of the turkey bowls out there? That seems to be the trend across the Corps, so we're glad to see that that's continuing. So I think Thanksgiving went great. Everybody who put the effort into the dining facilities, just a magnificent job across the board. This post, if you're new to JBLM, does an amazing job at holiday festivities. The tree lighting went out great, so Chuck gets to keep his job because when they hit the switch, the tree actually lit. So wonderful job. Santa was great. But probably the most special thing in my mind is the band concert that we've got going on the 16th? 14th. Okay, and we've got posters here. We're going to talk about that later, but it's absolutely magnificent. The band pours its heart and soul into that, so I'd ask you, if you have the opportunity to attend, it's an absolute treat. Hey, since I've got a lot of the chains of command in here, the last thing I've got for you is we put a lot of emphasis on hearing from your soldiers, your airmen who are living in family housing. We're also putting just as much emphasis on hearing from your soldiers and your airmen who are living in the barracks. So for the Army folks, the Garrison Commander is going to talk about the condition surveys that are due. Through the Sergeants Majors Network, we're putting out a lot of emphasis and a lot of information on how to fill out those reports accurately. So for all the commands out there, I'd ask you to put a great deal of attention to detail in and getting that report in a timely manner. More importantly, making sure that it's done accurately. I'm stealing a little bit of the Commander's thunder up there, but I want to foot stomp on, if we expect to get funding to maintain the barracks to your standard, we got to get those conditions reports. Again, happy holidays to everybody.
John Graham, good morning. Colonel Duncan, good morning. Hey everybody, I'm Colonel Bobby Langford. I'm the operations officer, basically the three here for the wing. Colonel Kern sends his regards. He's on his last combat mission right now. He went downrange, pick up some deployers, bring them home, take some new ones out, and meanwhile took a mission into Afghanistan. So he should be back very soon. I'd like to echo your thoughts, General. Happy holidays to everybody, but that doesn't mean we're not working hard. Our unit effectiveness inspection begins next week. If you guys don't know, that is an awful event. There's over 100 inspectors coming from the headquarters to look at every program we have. Meanwhile, we Joint Forcible Entry exercise, huge formation of C-17s airdropping down in the Nellis Ranges in Nevada, followed by a Storm Series exercise out at Fort Bragg immediately following that. Change command for the wing 10 January. Not that that's not enough, and then we'll begin a nuclear readiness exercise immediately following that. So I thank everybody for your support. I'm super proud of the airmen here, great teammates on the Joint Base. Yeah, we couldn't do it without you. So thank you for everything you do, and happy holidays.
It never ceases to amaze me how much the Air Force fights from the base every day, and how far downrange y'all are every day, including the commander. All right, I'll start off with then back to that barracks and housing. Y'all know we are maintaining an emphasis on family housing, and we are making great strides with Lincoln, who is our displaced family list is coming down quite rapidly. They are beginning to see the light at the fixing of the myriad of work orders that have come in. Please continue to send those work orders in, though. Don't stop. Because we are improving all of our housing across all 5,159 homes on base. Meanwhile, we are focusing on barracks because that is our next primary focus area. We need to make improvements in all of our barracks across the entire base. So, as General Graham mentioned, the inspections are out now. They're down to the chains of command. We have training laid on. What I would ask is the person that you send to that training should be the person that actually does the walk around through the barracks and the dorms. They know the training, they know what we're looking for, the specific statistics that help us to quantify the capabilities of our dorms and barracks. So once we're done with that, then we send those up, and then the Army is focusing now on and should apply some more funding this year than we've seen in many, many previous years, so we can get the barracks up to the quality standard that we need. You'll see throughout this presentation lots of great opportunities coming up, Trees for Troops, ham drop, and some opportunities to volunteer. My priorities for the Joint Base for JBLM make us more joint, more community, and more family oriented. More community and more family is where we can use a lot of volunteers. So if you have people out there, newcomers, people that love to engage with others, people that love to give back, we have many volunteer opportunities. And if you don't see something up here, I can just about guarantee you that it is somewhere out there. We just can't throw everything up on the slide. So please can, I know after we finish through the holiday season, which everybody, I know we're all running 100 miles an hour, so maybe not right now, although there are many opportunities even through December, but into January, start pre-planning some time to volunteer and to give back to this city. This is a massive city surrounded by 15 other cities, so we are also involved with them as you have opportunities to give back to those communities and show our partnership with them. One other way we can do that is Bill is going to get up here in a few slides and talk to you about the economic impact survey or the business survey. I would ask that every person please fill that out. You guys have heard me talk about in many forums about the economic impact that JBLM has amongst those 15 cities and in the entire South Sound. We are a huge driver for this entire region. And with Kitsap and with the Coast Guard, which is a little bit smaller element, with those two DoD entities, people wake up when they see the economic impact that we have. So I would ask you to please fill that out and fill it out honestly and cleanly, and it'll give us a great idea of the new impact that we have, because the current study was done 4 years ago, just 2 years ago. But it changes all the time. And it's changing. It's going to change even more because JBLM is growing. The DoD knows the strategic impact of this base and where we are located and the capabilities that we have with JBLM and with Yakima Training Center as all one big base. And so we will be gaining units here. JBLM is getting bigger. JBLM is going to see innovations. We're getting the first 5G pilot, the new cellular technology. We're getting the first pilot of that coming very shortly. We've had several meetings on that already. New weapon systems coming, new formations coming that are changing the way the DoD looks at how to do the fight. This has always been a little incubator of a base. Now I'm seeing it grow exponentially over the next 12 to 18 months. So and I'm tying that in because that will also affect our economic impact as we grow. So please give us your thoughts on that. That's all I have. Who am I giving it to next? Okay, you're up, Chuck.
Okay, good morning. I'm Chuck Markham, the Deputy DPW here at JBLM. Quarterly, we'd like to give you an update on the I-5 widening project that's happening here in the JBLM corridor. I think we all experience that as we drive through. But again, concentrating on here we show the 3 stages of the whole the project itself. Stage 1 from Mounts Road to Center Drive was completed last year in 2018, just basically widening it to 4 lanes, and so they're complete in that area. Currently working Stage 2, which involves heavily the Berkeley and Thorne interchanges, and you can see some of the dates there, and you can also tell that they're working around the main gate area. You exit 120 and a little bit south of there as they widen that to get ready to make that a total of 8 lanes, 4 lanes on each side. Again, still expecting Stage 2 to finish in 2021. And following in on that, concurrently would be Stage 3, which takes from Mounts Road then all the way to DuPont-Silicon Road, and then the redoing of exit 119 in the DuPont-Silicon gate area there. So just a reminder, they're also putting up the sound walls, as you see, along the housing areas, which should improve the quality of life for the housing areas along I-5. So if you have questions, we just get with DPW. We have a liaison that works directly with I-5 and the contractor, so we do have influence, and I know they're working very closely with the PAOs within the organizations here just to be able to get information out. So again, most of the work is at night, so not a lot of impact during the days, but there will be, as we get closer to finishing the Thorne and the Berkeley interchanges, there'll probably be some closures that'll have to happen. So if you have questions, please get with me. Anything today? Okay, I just have one follow-on here. Colonel Duncan wanted to, in response to a couple questions from the last Garrison update. One, I'll just read it here. Can you repaint the crosswalk in front of Building 2022, Jensen Gym on Lewis, Maine, and put a flashing light to prevent accidents, early morning hours, in the afternoon because it's dark? So just an update, a base-wide striping contract was awarded at the end of the fiscal year, and they have received NTP. They're working throughout Lewis, Maine area and McCord Field, and right now the restriping of the Jensen Gym crosswalk is scheduled for to be complete by 17 January. This is a difficult crosswalk because it's mid-block. We have previously placed warning signs of the crosswalk on the roadway, and then we also have the small yellow warning signs in the middle of the road also to warn oncoming traffic. Reference the flashing light. We have a study going on to see which crosswalks throughout JBLM would warrant a flashing signal there. And when I say warrant, that means is it warranted based upon the basic documents that we follow that say that these types should be built or should not be built, whatever. So we'll keep you involved with that. It's a national document that we follow here on the installation. Another question was anytime a request for service is made, and this is reference housing, the request is denied. The reason given is these are historic homes and we cannot do that. They don't believe that because the requests have been approved and completed in the same neighborhood, and the person says they need a better reason. So this is reference historic houses in our housing areas. For us to really follow up on any of these type of questions, if you can just give us some more specifics, we need either the neighborhood, but more like the specific address. We have we follow guidance from the State Historical Preservation Office on these historical homes, and Lincoln does the best it can to be consistent throughout these neighborhoods. And so each one is a little bit different, and we work these issues very closely with SHPO with their guidance, and then also with higher headquarters. The Department of the Army actually is providing some guidance these days on historical homes because it's an issue throughout the Army. Sir, if you have any follow-on?
Yeah, I want to add on to that a little bit. The DoD knows that these historical homes can be, they're awesome, that we love having them. Just like we protect the environment on JBLM, and we have some of the best environment in the Pacific Northwest, but it also sometimes restricts a little bit of our training capabilities. It's a balance. We love having these historical homes, but they can be very expensive to maintain. And sometimes it can get into an actual safety issue because some of the stuff is, the windows are so old that they don't open wide enough, things like that. We are addressing those if they are safety concerns. We will be working on those. If it's and then everything else is sort of a discussion with the State Historic Preservation Office and the National Historic Preservation Office. But this is a DoD-wide problem, and they are addressing this by including whole gaps of homes, from X year to X year, and they're saying these are no longer now going to be considered historic homes, so that we can do much more broad sweeping upgrades and changes to those homes. That policy is working through the Pentagon right now, and it has congressional interest. So it will probably be signed off on, I'm guessing, February, March. I can't guarantee that because I don't work in Washington, D.C., but as soon as that gets signed off, that will allow us to immediately go in and do some broader changes.
Okay. And again, if you do have specific housing questions, Ms. Wilson, our housing manager, is more than happy to help you. Any questions for me? Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Staff Sergeant Edra. I am from the America's First Corps Band. I'm inviting you to join us to our holiday concert. It will be on December 14. It's a Saturday. It will be at Cary Theater at 1800. It's free and open to the public. So if you want to get into the holiday spirit, tell your friends, tell your family, come out and join us, tell your soldiers. I put flyers on each table so you can bring them to your unit, get your soldiers out of the barracks. It'll be a great time. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'll be at the back. Thank you and happy holidays.
Hey, good morning. I'm Bill Adamson. I'm the director of the South Sound Military and Communities Partnership. Been doing that for about 4 years. Let's show some love to the other side of the room here. First, before I get into this survey, let me explain to you why it's important. About 5 years ago, there was this thing called sequestration. And at that time, sequestration was forcing drawdowns across the military. This installation was targeted at that time initially to lose 12,000. The community leaders were not armed with good data on how to explain to Congress, state legislatures, and the people in the Pentagon the importance of the military to this region. So in 2017, we did a JBLM regional economic impact analysis, and you can see up there that blast, $9.2 billion is what we came up with. You are the #1 employer in Pierce County and the #2 employer in the state of Washington. People didn't know that until a couple years ago. So what we added this time is a local business survey. Most of you might know that over 70% of you live out in the community. You don't live on this installation. And we want our local businessmen to understand how you spend your payroll, how you shop, where you go. And so that's sort of where this survey is going. So you can see the purpose statement. The survey seeks to identify the military-connected customer bases of local businesses and the effects of JBLM on the local economy. If you take this survey, and there's a sheet on every table that has a QR code, so during the rest of this presentation, if you scan that, you can take this survey in 2 to 3 minutes while you're sitting in this room. But let's go to the next slide, please. We've got several delivery methods to get this thing out. You've got this new JBLM 360 app. We're going to have a link on that so that you can get to it that way. The Thurston County Chamber and the Tacoma-Pierce County Chamber are sending it on their listserv to the businesses that are part of those two chambers. In the case of each, they've got about 1,700 businesses that are part of those chambers. Then we've got social media websites, and then University of Washington Tacoma is our partner in conducting this economic analysis and this survey. They are actually hosting the survey on their website. So we're going to ask you, how do you shop? What did you buy? We want to know about big purchases like houses and cars and things like that. But when you come into a community, what are the first things you're looking for? Housing, and sometimes if you're a new soldier or airman, you're looking for a shiny new car. I see a lot of them around these days. So we want to know how you're doing that. Next slide and last slide. This tells you basically the design of the survey. You answer 3 questions and you're put into one of 5 buckets that are blue along the bottom there. You're either just a general community member and you've got to answer a total of 7 questions. If you're a business leader, operator, owner, you've got a few more questions because we're really interested in how the business perceives the JBLM workforce is using its services. Then we've got active duty and spouse, JBLM civilians, which is all your DOD, Department of the Air Force, Department of the Army folks, as well as contractors, and then lastly, veterans, reserves, and National Guard. This thing is going hot today. It's hot right now as far as the survey is concerned. The information that we gather from this, we are going to have updated and ready in February, and that will feed into the economic impact analysis that will conclude in May. So I thank you for listening, and please take the survey for us. It's important to community leaders, and if you have family members that live off post, that'll be important to you too. Thank you.
Okay, well, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? All right, I was thinking, where the devil am I? Okay, I'm in the Cub. All right, make sure. First of all, I'd like to hear a round of applause for Mr. Adamson, if you don't mind. He's done incredible work for us. I know you all don't see it, but the work he does with his community is phenomenal, and he supports every element of JBLM's practices, both on and off the installation, so a personal thanks to him. Let's go to the next slide, please. Okay, we've got open enrollment season. It's kind of getting close to closing up here in December, all right, for everyone who's obviously on TRICARE. If you're satisfied with what you're doing, do nothing. That's the best news you can ever get, right? Wish the taxman felt the same way. All right, do nothing. If you feel, nope, I'm going to try Select, I'm going to try my hand at that, I'd like copays, okay, not a problem. You can sign up for Select, but you cannot get your health care, right, at Madigan and other locations on a select plan, right? So it's important to understand was what you do, you're with for a year, all right? And I have my managed care expert in here if there's any questions on it. Let's go to the next slide. And it'll actually show you basically what I'm talking about. The prime and select options are the only two options under TRICARE anymore. So either in a prime or not. It makes it pretty simple. And you can switch between plans, family member, individual plans, that sort of thing. Most folks, 90% or above, just do nothing because they've enrolled in the plan, they're satisfied with the plan, it works for them. Let's go to the next slide. Unless you have a qualifying life event, all right, there's some things that happen, sometimes divorces, foreclosures, that sort of thing, health condition, what have you, that demands maybe you want to switch to one side or the other, you want certain type of health care that is not available on one side, what have you, whatever the case may be, those qualifying life events can be used to justify a switch enrollment. They're very tough about it. That's why I throw it up here. So it's not like a one and done. There are options in case of a crisis type of situation. Next slide, please. Okay, we have a tree lighting ceremony of our own. We're going to try to challenge Garrison. Okay, just checking, just seeing if you're awake, right? My Christmas tree is a little shorter than yours, but not by much, right? It's actually a lot shorter than his. It's indoors. We do it up with menorah lighting at the same time. We usually have myself and one of our, unfortunately, usually very sick patient. Just to give you an idea, that, this is a very moving event. This is a very important event to many of us here at Madigan. Keegan Bell was with me last year. She is no longer with us. Okay, folks, it's very real to us. So we lose people, right? Very sick young lady. She didn't make it, right? But her spirit remains with us. We want to continue that. We want to make sure we respect that. We want to make sure we honor that, and make sure we know that our folks out there are supported, especially in the case of our children. Next slide, please. Ugly Sweater Run. Challenge us. The ugliest thing you got. We're doing an Ugly Sweater Run this Friday, one, because we really enjoy running. We actually really do. Yeah, right? Formations on the front, ugly sweaters in the middle, tons of civilians with ugly sweaters or not, or just what they're wearing. You can classify it any way you like on the back. But it's the first time, another inaugural event for Madigan that we're starting. We're starting quite a bit of traditions, as some of you might have picked up on. And this is kind of the counterpart to our Volks March that we did on the 23rd of November. Anybody who did or did not take part in that, you missed out if you weren't there. It was a great event. We also had a lot of giveaways. We also had a lot of booze inside Madigan Mall. This is just another one of those kind of events. This Ugly Sweater Run will not have that. It'll just have awesome weather, all right? And a lot of people having a good time. We'll gather around 6:30 launch time for SP, and we'll make it a enjoyable event for all our folks. Next slide, please. Okay, everyone was like, please, let's talk about the flu shot because it's awesome, okay? We got 26,000 vials. Apologize for the lateness with that. For some reason, it's again one of those national shortage things, but we have the vials, and we have the timelines between 10 and 13 December. We're beginning putting out this for our flu drive. That's a full day event, right, in the actual mall area. So if you have not had your flu shot, please come and take yourself in and get yourself vaccinated. I think we learned a lot from this past year with measles, right? Y'all remember that? How fast we remember that? We had that little measles outbreak, right? 100% of the folks, right, that were not vaccinated got it, right? So it kind of validates vaccinations actually work, right? And it helped re-engender in schools as well to promote vaccinations for children. It's done us a number in terms of getting people to be compliant with vaccinations for their children, stay on target. Flu is just along that same line. It's probably going to be a rough year otherwise. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, these are also the locations that accept TRICARE, so it's free, right? Go in there. Make sure that if you're hearing from your constituents, for all the spouses in here, if anyone ever tries to charge an admin fee or anything like that, absolutely refuse that on the spot. Contact our managed care folks, and we have Julie Martin in the back. She can kind of give them more updates on that. It has not happened in a while. This used to happen every once in a while where people would go and say, oh, I need an admin fee for giving you that shot. That's absolutely not acceptable and not appropriate or approved. So we got you covered. That's 100% free. It's the best price ever. Next slide. The Army Wellness Center, again, we like to kind of keep pushing this out. It's the holidays. We tend to kind of slow down a little bit. We kind of get that hibernation weight on. Trust me, I'm with you, right? It's not like we're immune to this, right? We get the hibernation weight on. This is one of those things you really want to be totally honest with yourself, get into a bod pod, right? It'll make honest people out of every one of you, right? So it's a great opportunity to use this service. It's a free service, right? Take advantage of it. You never know how long these last, right? Everything is resource intensive. We need to get folks involved in using these types of services, or we might not be able to maintain them in the long run. Foot stomp. All right, so take advantage of the programs that are offered. It is excellent. Next slide, please. We had some challenges with the phones, right, Sky? We had some challenges this week with the phones. Some of you might have heard about that. We had big problems. Those phones, though, that we are voice over internet still functioned, right? Those still worked. All our other phones were down. When you're having challenges, if the phone system goes down, here are some options to use in order to get a hold of any kind of healthcare-related issue, right? We wanted to make sure we put this up here. Felt we probably hadn't been doing a really good job of kind of giving you that other option. We got nurse advice line, patient portal, a couple other venues, right? And we're working on fixing it for a full transition for our systems in our hospital, which you can imagine is over 5,000 some odd sets. So it's not a small thing to try to get after, but I want to give some options up here, okay? Next slide. And we're going to go to voting. But before we do, I say, first of all, I want to say, again, thanks for all the support of Madigan and our activities. We have quite a few of them. We're trying to do that for you. We're here for you for the holidays. We never close. We're 24/7, 365, right? So Thanksgiving, holiday, Christmas, New Year's, where everyone's kind of working that out for their ski vacation, yeah, we're treating patients, right? Because that's what we love to do. That's why we're here. And I'll tell you, for Mr. Adamson, there you are, right? I would tell you where I shot, but I can't because I was doing Black Tuesday. Right? Because you guys keep putting it back, but pretty soon it'll be Black Sunday, and that won't be very good. You know what I mean? I can't tell you what I bought because my wife's in the room. So without further ado, we'll go on voting assistance pending any questions. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Alicia Grady, Director of Personnel and Family Readiness. You're going to see a lot of this through the coming months, and we're actually working with Pierce County, who the majority of our residents live in Pierce and also Thurston County. We're assisting them in doing some marketing and getting people either to A, register to vote if they are not registered to vote, and then also to update addresses. So a lot of folks use home of record, use absentee ballots, those sorts of things. We are pushing the website as your source to go to do everything that you need. Within the next probably 30 days, we'll be setting up a computer dedicated just to this website over in Waller Hall. It'll be out in the main lobby. So if you have service members who don't have access to a computer, which probably most do some form or fashion, either on their phone or somewhere else, but we will set a kiosk up, and we'll do similar over at McCord as well in Building 100, so that folks do have an opportunity to access the website, make the updates that they need, register to vote, and then we'll, again, be pushing this out throughout the year. I'll turn it over to Julie Quick to do a plug for Combined Federal Campaign.
Thank you, Alicia. Yes, I'm Julie Martin. My day job is working at Madigan in the Managed Care Department, working the TRICARE benefits plans for all of you. But today I'm representing the statewide Washington Local Federal Coordinating Committee, which oversees the combined federal campaign for the entire state of Washington for all the federal agencies. I happen to be the only rep from Joint Base Lewis McChord on this committee. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to push the campaign. I put these booklets on each of your tables, and there's also a postcard. If you would please share this information with your units. We'd be happy to come out and work with any of your unit leaders and with agency fairs if you'd like to set something up, or more information about the Combined Federal Campaign. This is our annual campaign. Obviously, it lasts to the 12th of January. The new thing this year is not only can you give dollars for the favorite charities, and as Colonel Duncan mentioned, it's our time to give back to our communities. You can also volunteer hours as pledges as well. So that's a new thing with the Combined Federal Campaign, volunteer hours plus money as well. And I think that's all I have for that. If you have any questions, I'm on Global, Julie M. Martin. If you want more information, I've got lots of these brochures to give out if you want to give these out to your units and unit events. Thank you.
All right, and wrap this up for me, we are coming into the holiday seasons. That is typically a time that folks tend to overspend, sometimes intentionally or unintentionally. But please know, we have folks there who can help you. We have 8 financial readiness counselors located across the Joint Base, Waller Hall, McCord in Building 100, and over on Lewis North at the Hawk Career Center. So they are at your disposal. Please take the time to make an appointment with a financial counselor if you or anyone within your units seem to be struggling financially. We can help get you back on track, give you some tips and ways to save money, not overspend, those sorts of things. So please take advantage of that opportunity. Thanks.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Kathy, DP Directorate of Public Works Sustainability Outreach Coordinator for the Environmental Division, and just hitting you up this morning to make sure that you're going to green your holiday. I put some flyers on your tables with ideas on both sides, but think about what you're buying. Make sure it's got some recyclable content in it. After the holidays, bring your packaging and all kinds of leftover things that could be recycled to our recycling centers. Again, anything we can turn into money, we do, and that goes right back into our MWR programs. So be sure and think about your purchases this year. On your tables, I've left a sustainable JBLM bag. Those are made of recycled content, and they fold up really, really small. There's a pouch inside. So again, don't pay that 10 cents or fee when you go out there. Use your reusable bags. Next slide, please. Heating strategy. So again, JBLM has a variety of buildings, and we just want to make sure that everybody's cozy. So check your thermostat, maintain thermostat set points, dress appropriately, wear warm clothing. Personal heaters are prohibited. If you need one, reach out to our energy program and get permission, please. We don't want to take down anybody's, have those lights go out because somebody's plugged in their space heater and it goes womp, womp. So, okay, next slide, please. Let's go. So Go Lewis McChord is the on-base alternative transportation program. There's some, again, there's a card on your table that has our website and our QR code, and we've also put an alternate website up on the JBLM homepage website, so the Garrison webpage. Be sure and check that out. This is a way to get to use the train. Let's Go Amtrak, right? So you can connect using Sound Transit use our Go Lewis McChord to get to the Sound Transit train station, and you can hook up to the Amtrak. Opportunities, there's an outreach page that has all kinds of ideas. Let's go SeaTac, let's go Seattle. You can get to DuPont during duty hours, all kinds of options for you. Also on your tables is some information about wreaths across America. I don't have a slide for that, but you guys might have been touched by this already. But just reaching out to let you know that is 14 December. If you have any questions, please let us know, and the website is there. We're still looking for some volunteers and also looking for some donated wreaths. So thanks so much.
Good morning, Beth Wilson. I'm the Chief of the Housing Division, and I work for the Directorate of Public Works. I just want to remind the families that live in JBLM about the bulk pickup that Lincoln offers free of charge. So once a year, they will allow bulk pickup for the residents, and also too, when you are scheduled to PCS out, they will also do another one at the time. They pick it up on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. However, you do have to schedule this with Lincoln. The website that's up on the board, that's where you need to request the pickup. Once you send an email, they will respond within probably about 2 or 3 days. They will give you all the information that you need. There is a form that you will have to fill out listing all the different items that you're asking to be picked up. Once that's listed and you return it back to Lincoln, they will respond to you and give you a confirmation that your date has been scheduled. They will also deliver stickers to your home that you have to place on everything that you've listed on the piece of paper. If you have stuff extra out there that you did not list, they will not pick it up. There are certain items that LeMay, who is the contractor, will not pick up. We ask that you at least try to schedule this at least 7 days in advance. However, they can do short if there's a reason for that short time. Next slide, please. So if you have it scheduled, they ask you to place it out there no earlier than 1700 the day before and no later than 5:30 the day of delivery. Please make sure that everything is labeled. If there's stuff out there that's not, you can be charged $25 to $75, depends on the amount of items that are out there. This is not a free service, and Lincoln does pay for it. Also down here, there's some of the items that LeMay will not pick up. This is not Lincoln, this is the LeMay contractor. Next slide, please. So we wanted to remind the families the proper process to dispose of the Christmas trees that you may have. 31 December through 4 January is when LeMay will pick them up. You can either put them in your waste container or you can leave them at the side of your trash. And please make sure that it's no larger than 4 feet. That's what LeMay asks. Any questions? Okay.
Good morning, Kelly Wetzel with MWR. We're rolling into the holiday season really quickly. So fun stuff happening this weekend, Winterfest. I apparently having an ugly sweater run after the Madigan run. So that'll be on Saturday. We'll have Winterfest, which is a great time to bring your family out to the MWR Fest tent on Lewis, Maine. Crafts, activities, food, entertainment there. And then we roll right into Trees for Troops. So if you've got folks who are looking for a Christmas tree, it's a first come, first serve. Folks that may be not able to afford a Christmas tree this year, this is an opportunity for them to get a Christmas tree through Winterfest. Next up is the Wizarding Yule Ball. Those folks that are Harry Potter fans, or if you've got some Harry Potter folks in your family, this is a big dress-up event. So if you've got your robes and you've got your glasses and the scar on your forehead, you are good to go. And lots of fun. They encourage adults to come as well because, you know, you got to do something to celebrate the books. And then on the bottom corner there, the Northwest Adventure Center and Adventures Unlimited, they are set for ski and snowboard season. As soon as those ski areas open up, we have all of the equipment that you will need to go up to the mountains. I've mentioned this before. When my son was small, he thought he wanted to be a snowboarder in the worst way, and there was no way I was going to buy him equipment because it's expensive and he was going to grow. So we always rented equipment and saved a ton of money by doing it on base. So that's always an option. Or if you're new here, you've never been to the snow before, you don't know if snowboarding and skiing is what you really want to do the rest of your life, rent equipment, go and get wet and have a good time, and decide then if you want to ski and snowboard forever and buy yourself some equipment that way. UFC 245 is coming up. It's at the Warrior Zone, it's at the club, and it's at Sam Adams Cascade. We have Breakfast with Santa right here in the ballroom the 14th of December. We're taking reservations if you want to stop in the business office on your way out for the kids and grandkids. The big man will be here. You can take pictures with him. There will be a pancake breakfast and some crafts for the kids. And then a big holiday sale at the Northwest Adventure Center the 2 days before Christmas, so that last-minute holiday shopping, you can get it in and still stay on base. Next slide, please. So, some things to keep them busy over break. Our libraries are fantastic. They have a lot of great programs that they're running, so that the dreaded B word, Mom, I'm bored, you won't hear it if you make sure that you've got some things for them to do, and there's plenty to do on base. In fact, we've got a representative from the library in the back here. You can stop by and pick up some information from her about some of the things that we've got planned for the kids over the break. Breakfast with Santa, they've got a pajama party story time, so the kids come in their pajamas for that. And then a New Year's Eve story time. So on the 31st, the kids can go to bed super early because they've already had their celebration at the library that way. And then, moms, you deserve a break, especially those stay-at-home parents who've got the kids the entire time. We have a women's-only wine tasting trip that we're running through our Adventures Unlimited program. And that's on the 21st of December, so set aside some extra time for yourself. They'll take you out to the Kitsap area, and they'll go and hit a couple of wineries, and there's some sales there, there's food. It's a great idea. And then coming up in January, the Fitness Resolution Fair is something we've done for the last few years. Those folks that just need a little extra oomph to get out to a fitness center, it gives them a chance to check every single fitness center class that we offer, and it gets you a run through of the equipment so that you really know what you're getting into. We've got another job fair coming up in January, the UFC fights, an advanced Super Smash Brothers tournament at the Grand Staff Library. So that's different from the tournaments that we hold at the Warrior Zone. And then we've got an esports Call of Duty Modern Warfare tournament at the Warrior Zone towards the end of January. And then my final slide. So the bad weather is going to come eventually. Hopefully you cross your fingers and we don't get a lot of bad snow this year. But if we do have to close facilities, we know that there are some folks who really just want and need to work out. So we have 24/7 access at McVeigh, at McCord, and at Wilson Fitness Centers for those folks who really want to go out and work out even though it's snowy or wet or nasty outside. Those facilities will be open 24/7, not even weather depending. And then the update for Sports and Fitness Center, that Ugly Sweater Run is on the 7th, this Saturday at the MWR Fest tent. Kimbrough Pool, we have identified finally where the leaks are. And so we anticipate being open the middle of January next year. Wilson Fitness Center, we still have 24/7 access down. They're working on that and anticipate that to be back online in January. And the basketball floor will be resurfaced through the 23rd of this month. Lifeguard training at Soldiers Fieldhouse, we are still looking for lifeguards. This isn't something that you can walk in off the street and just take lifeguard training. There is a pre-test. You are required to, among other things, swim 300 meters. You have to dive into the deep end and retrieve a brick in a particular amount of time. There are things that you have to be able to accomplish in order to become a lifeguard. So those are all pre-test before you take the actual classes. The fitness center at Jensen will be closed from, the floors will be closed the 23rd to the 17th for floor resurfacing. And then finally, that 20th annual Army-Navy football game, flag football game, will be in Everett this year on the 13th of December. Anybody have any questions? Anything I didn't cover you want to know about? Great. Have a happy holiday. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Good morning, everyone. Sergeant Nagel Schuckman with the JBLM Boss program. Community service, we finally finished tearing down the haunted house. I'm glad to see that's finally done. That was a nightmare, literally. We had the thrift store over on JBLM Main. We did our Suits for Service member back on the 12th, and the designated driver program helped over 24 people avoid DUIs in the last month. Next slide, please. All right, and then our recreation and leisure, we had a bunch of, again, the Suits for Service members. They always love to feed us. They always love having us out. Museum of Flight, that was a great day we had. The Seattle International Auto Show, indoor rock climbing, and then an escape room. We still didn't get out. We still died to the monsters. One day I'll get them. All right, next slide, please. All right, for upcoming December volunteer events, we just had our tree lighting ceremony. We provided the Santa and elves, had a great time. Suits for Service members, we just had. Thrift stores coming up this Saturday. We're looking for volunteers for that. Winterfest on Saturday as well. And Breakfast with Santa here at McCord. Next slide, please. All right, so this is the main event. Obviously, the holiday season is coming up. We're very concerned about the soldiers and airmen still residing within the barracks of this installation. Please know that Boss has planned for this, and we have plenty of events for them to participate in. Please encourage the soldiers and airmen to come out and participate. There should be no reason that they say there's nothing to do during the holiday block leave period. We're gonna have a movie night on the 16th. Come out with your pajamas. We'll have popcorn, hot cocoa. We're gonna watch Elf and How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the live action one with Jim Carrey. We're gonna go out to the Auburn for last minute Christmas shopping. Maybe you need to reward yourself for a great year done, or reach back out to the family and pass off the gifts to them. We're gonna go out to Snowflake Lane, which is basically a Macy's Day Parade for Christmas out in Bellevue, Washington. Then we also have a Leavenworth Christmas trip. We've partnered with the Northwest Adventure Center and Outdoor Recreation to go out to Leavenworth to see their tree lighting ceremony. It's amazing turnout every year. We're gonna go go-karting. We're gonna go Bellevue Botanical Gardens. They turn their entire gardens into a giant Christmas wreath display. It's very beautiful, again, back out in Bellevue. We're also gonna go do ice skating, and on top of the ice skating, there's also like a bumper car snow ice rink thing. I don't know how it's going to move. I think we're just going to push each other across the rink. And then we're also going to go to Boom Shock, which is indoor trampoline house, as well as an escape room on the first weekend of January. I know it's not up here, but it's still part of the holiday period. But please encourage your soldiers and airmen to come out and participate. We'd love to have them. Thank you.
Good morning and happy holidays from the Religious Support Office. We've got a lot of events coming up as well. It's a very busy season for us as we get ready to celebrate various religious events throughout the next month. There are a couple of needs within the community. Just like over Thanksgiving, we provided Operation Turkey Drop, helped over 1,300 service members for the Thanksgiving time period with 1,300 turkeys. The next event is on the 12th of December. We're going to have a ham grenade, so we're working in conjunction with AUSA again and bringing out another 1,300 hams. So if you have service members that are in need over the holiday, they need some food, we're going to work in conjunction, connect with your unit ministry teams, and they will be the primary POCs to work with our OIC chaplain, Jason Nobles, in our office. Next slide, please. We also have, in conjunction with our chapels and Sergeant Majors Association, they've donated over $17,000 to our Operation Helping Hand, and that goes into buying some gift certificates for commissary to provide special food resources for folks that are in need over the holidays. Again, if you work through your chaplains, unit ministry teams, the religious support teams on the Air Force side, the needs are validated and they come through us and they can get gift cards for the commissary to meet their needs over the holidays as well. So that's a wonderful resource that anybody can tap into here as well. Next slide. And for all of the events, this kind of a busy slide, hopefully you've got the slide packets. You can see this on the slide. If not, you can go to our JBLM Facebook page, and that's just JBLM Religious Support, and you can get on our Facebook page and find all of our religious services over the holidays. And we have this slide broken out into our Protestant community events, our Catholic community events, and our Jewish community events. All three are having major holidays, as you know, over the next month. So lots of opportunities to build your spiritual resilience and get your family involved in some spiritual worship events through the holidays as well. Pending any questions, that's all I have. This is my last community event. I'll be retiring in 2 weeks. So it's been a joy to serve with you all here at JBLM. It's always good to see your replacement. My replacement's sitting here. We're doing right seat, left seat ride. So Chaplain Dave Schaffner will be replacing me. But again, thanks and God bless.
Good morning. Mike Cruz from McCord Commissary. Just a few updates for the holidays. December 24th, Christmas Eve. Store hours will be 9 to 4. December 25th, as holiday is, both stores will be closed. December 31st, New Year's were regular hours. No early closure. January 1st, as always, we're closed. Next slide. If you have any holiday events going on, you can always stop by Lewis or McCord Commissary. Give us a call at the numbers notified, and if you have special needs or if you want something in advance, give us a call to get those products in. We should have everything in stock. Next slide. Santa will be at the commissary on December 21st from 1 to 3 p.m. Next slide. That's it. Also, just wanted to know, that next Saturday on the 14th, there will be Christmas celebration like we did for Thanksgiving. There will be the raffle thing with the spin the wheel type thing going on. So stop by from, I believe, from 11 to 1 and win a Christmas prize. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tim Adams. I'm the operations manager at your McCord Exchange, and I am happy to be here, proud to be here, because I have a monumental announcement about the 124-year history of the exchange. On Veterans Day in 2017, we opened up our cyber doors to all honorably discharged veterans, and they can go on shopmyexchange.com and do their shopping there. And since then, veterans have saved over $6 million in taxes, in sales taxes. And on January 1st, we will start allowing disabled veterans, Purple Heart recipients, and POWs inside the store to do shopping. That's 4.1 million disabled veterans will be able to come on base and shop in our stores. And that is an awesome, awesome happening. Okay, we've got some shipping deadlines for shopmyexchange.com. The important one here is December 13th, ground shipping. Good news is if you order on shopmyexchange.com, most of those orders, if it's in the area, get fulfilled from McCord. So that December 13th date isn't etched in stone in this area, but you should look at that December 18th date for Shop My Exchange. Again, we're offering bounce back coupons this month. When you come in, you'll get a coupon that's good to use between 14 and 17 December. Excuse me. Okay, Christmas Day, very important. Next slide. Liberty Express is going to be your only express that's open 24 hours. North Fort's going to close. They'll close at 6 o'clock. And if you stop by Liberty Express, say hello to my lovely wife, Jana. She'll probably be working. I know, all. Okay, Santa Claus will be at the McCord Exchange for the next 3 Saturdays. That's the 7th, the 14th, and 21st. That's easy to remember because it's just like the touchdowns that Seattle scores all the time. And we have gift wrapping by donation from units that are on Joint Base Lewis McChord at the Lewis Exchange and the McCord Exchange as well. We also have the Veteran Christmas tree. Each one of these little stars has a recommendation as to what kind of present that you can buy and leave under the tree, and we will make sure that those get out to veterans. Very awesome. Okay, next slide. Oh, we got all kinds of things going on. I'm not going to go over the entire slide, but I do want to hit on a couple highlights. Quentin Jefferson from the Seattle Seahawks will be at the McCord Exchange. He was at Lewis last month, and he had to cancel his McCord appearance, but he will be at McCord at the Exchange Tuesday, 10 December from 3 to 5. Okay, we also have a Frozen 2 event at both exchanges for the kids. That's on the 7th of December, and then on the 14th of December, which is not shown up there, we have a Jedi training event at both exchanges. We have the Vitamix demo at McCord on the 5th of December, which is pretty cool. That machine can do a lot of awesome stuff. And we're honored to have America's first corps band doing some caroling in the mall areas at Lewis and McCord. That's the 5th and the 10th on Lewis, and the 6th and 11th on McCord, I believe. Yes, absolutely. Well, that's all I got. I hope you stop by your exchange and say hello to us. On a personal note, our store manager, Ron Corona, is retiring 13 December. He's been with the exchange 29 years. So if you want to come in and say hello and shake his hand and thank him for his service, we'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Jennifer. I'm from the GBLM Northwest office. Today we're going to talk about the Customer Service Satisfaction Survey. This is a survey everybody will get in their email once you do a move. The main points of this is that it can be done very quickly. It's 8 quick questions about your move and how you did, or not you did, I'm sorry, the carriers, the TSPs. We really ask for your feedback. This lets your voice be heard, and it does have an impact on the movers. So if they didn't do so great, we want to know so we can get it fixed for you guys. There's a website, move.mil, that you can go to go ahead and do that. There's an 800 number that you can call as well, but make sure you have your government bill of lading ready when you do it, because that's how we identify you. The benefits of this, like I said before, it lets your voice be heard. We really want to see how you guys feel about the carriers so we can make improvements where we need to. It's a direct impact on their future business with the DoD. So if we don't feel they're up to par with military standards to take care of our people, we can always reflect back on that when the contracts come around. This provides the DoD with direct information for possible actions. So if anybody has ever done a move, which I'm sure everybody has, you guys can tell us that they were rude, or we had excess broken stuff for claims, or these guys were phenomenal. They came out, they got stuff done, they showed up on time. Any of that information, we want to hear back from you guys. Next slide, please. This it's a snippet from a pamphlet that handles out. You should be able to find it on move.mil. It tells you how to create your account. If you do have an account and you forgot passwords, I always forget my passwords. You can always reset it, and it just gives you some tidbits about how to do it so that all your information can get out there. If you guys have any questions, we'll be over here, and please feel free to come ask any questions you guys need.
I'm Angie Melnick from the Fort Lewis Family Member Scholarship Fund, and I was so excited about updating our eligibility that obviously our application deadline should say 2020, not 2019, so my bad on that. But I was excited because last year I stood up here and I told everybody about this scholarship opportunity, and it was only for Army families. But this year we have opened it up to service member family members assigned to JBLM. So that includes Air Force friends and anybody else assigned to JBLM. So our eligibility is on our website. It's also listed up here if you want to take a glance at it. The scholarship just went live this morning or last night, and you can get all the information there. If you have any questions, our email is there. And then I just wanted to mention our 3 big donors for our scholarship are the Lewis Community Spouses Club, the Fort Lewis Thrift Shop, and the Sergeant Majors Association of the Northwest. So we also have some other local community members who donate, and then also private donors. So as Nicole is getting ready to come up and talk about the Lewis Community Spouses Club, ACE Night is a huge opportunity to give back to the community, and some of that money comes to us for scholarships for family members. Thank you.
Hello, hi, I'm Nicole Von Banken, and I am with the Spouses Club. Just some of our upcoming events. 12 December is our tour of homes, and it's not at the Fort Lewis Museum, but we have coordinated with them. And this year we're doing something a little different than we normally do. Usually the tour of homes is the general's loop, and we will go through the houses there. But this year we are doing a walking tour of homes, and it's going to be all of the houses in Broadmoor. And you'll start out at Bronson Hall, and then they'll rotate through the different era of houses. So it will be a really fun one. The deadline for that application is today, so spouses definitely get online and register for that. January and February are luncheons. We're having a day one and an evening one at Sam Adams and here. And then, as Angie had mentioned, ACE Night. It stands for our annual charity event night, and it is the biggest fundraiser we do. It is March 13th, and it is at the McGavick Center. We're doing it off-post this year in hopes that we can reach out to the communities. We really want to get involvement with Lakewood, Lacey, mayors, and their city council members. So if you have connections with them, please extend the invite. Our chair for this event is April Johns, an awesome Air Force spouse. Her email is eventchairlcsc@gmail.com if you have any connections or want to extend this invite out, but we really want to get the community to come to this event. I know December is a busy month for all of us, but I will be reaching out personally to all of the battalions, the brigades, the divisions, the squadrons, to see if they'd be willing to help donate baskets to our live and silent auctions. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that, because I will definitely be reaching out. If you have questions, I will be at the table over here after this event too.
One more slide.
I'm Victoria Duncan, Colonel Duncan's wife from Garrison, and I want to take the opportunity to let you know of an opportunity for your SFRGs and key spouse groups to raise funds at the community updates, and that draws support for the organizations that they are a part of and for the community updates. The dates listed here are the Nelson Rec dates because they're the places where with a food handler's permit you're allowed to sell food items. I believe May is the first available date because we already have a few groups signed up. If you happen to have an organization that sells items like t-shirts or things that don't require a food handler's permit, you might be able to do it here at McCord Club as well on the dates that aren't listed. The contact is Darlene Pachenko here at the bottom, and looking forward to, we all need to bring cash so we can enjoy some food and funds and support these organizations. Okay?
Thanks. All right, we have an amazing base, the best joint base in the entire DoD with the amazing, and you've seen, I hope you had your phones out because there was no less than 6 slides up there that had just lists of dates of activities available to you. So if you need slides, please let us know. We'll have, we can get you the link to how to get these slides. You're on the best joint base in the DoD because we have amazing people. So I'd like to say congratulations again to Mr. Geisler, Mrs. Wiggins, and Ms. Orcutt. Thank you for your outstanding support. Thank you for allowing us to give you coins at the beginning. We also have amazing folks that put together these massive programs. There are hundreds of people behind the scenes running MWR, running the BOSS program, the Religious Support Office that makes these things available. Obviously, our partners with Commissary and AFES. You can find all of these activities, a lot of these activities, especially the MWR ones, on the JBLM 360 app. So remember to download that. Remember that that has a link to the economic survey that we mentioned earlier. I will put a plug in also for the First Corps Band. I've heard them in several occasions at formal functions, at informal functions like the tree lighting. These folks have amazing talent, the singing and the playing ability. So come out and see the band. Remember, I'll foot stomp again the opportunities to volunteer. We are bringing in the new volunteer management system. It's not online yet, this new VMIS 2.0 system. We'll be bringing that online sometime next year to make it easier to document the volunteer hours and for the people that run the programs to be able to see who was volunteering for recognition programs and all of that. But regardless, I know that's not why we volunteer. We volunteer to give back to the community. So in the meantime, please take advantage of these opportunities to give back. The Trees for Troops, I will put in a personal plug for them as well. We do the ham drop and the turkey drop, the ham grenade turkey drop and the Trees for Troops. Get your folks out there and take advantage of those. I just went this weekend, and my wife bent my arm, and I spent $200 for Christmas trees and decorations. So our car payment will now not be done, and my car will be repossessed, and as the Garrison commander, that looks very poorly, but I cannot help it. Thank you, Victoria, because we now have... Yeah, thank you. I now have a $200 Christmas tree that you may come see, please, in my house, but it will be in place of a car because my car will be gone. Please get your soldiers out there and take advantage of those Trees for Troops. We will have a ton of information at these booths over here, including for, I'll say again, for that economic development survey coming out, and for all of the people that are, she's raising her hand over there, and for all of our partners, please go see those booths over there. Have a wonderful December, a wonderful holiday, and we'll see you in January.